Allahu, 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 Allah, Allahu, Allahu, Allah.
I will request our elder Brother Shaykh Awadallah Yusuf say a few words. Inshallah, we listen to our guest, Shaykh Awadallah Yusuf.
I am just here inviting my Shaykh Bailey, it is a wonderful opportunity for us to meet Dr. Awadallah visiting from UK. Actually, there is a good response from community. They are willing to invite me. Even I think I discovered two things. Some people know other people already know it. But even some people I think they have also some kind of connection or some kind of teaching or something for this.
At the end of the last 16 years,
So it is a kind of very good opportunity for all of us to break our memory into the and mostly the Muslims in Canada are from, you can say, not too old community. They are maybe, I can say, the most of their numbers increased in 30 years. So our activity is also not too old. Aside the thing, our first masjid started in around 1974.
61 first.
No, that was.
Yeah, 61 first and then moved to the present 69.
Yeah, but I got from the Ibrahim al-Bari,
No, that's right.
1972. So anyhow, so it is our history. Of course, and before that, in 1924, the first masjid started as a masjid in Richmond Hill. And I visited Halifax, and there was also another masjid same time. And mostly the Lebanese people, they actually moved from US to Canada. So they are the first route of presence here. And we have different activities, but mostly activities are coming from masjid centers. And alhamdulillah, you can imagine that many 200 plus masjid and musalla in Greater Toronto area. Many, you can say we have just like 6-7 cities are just like very close to each other. And Muslim population is around 1,600,000 Muslims are living in GTA. 2/3 of Muslims are living here. And alhamdulillah, we are honored with really some, you can say, great people of Christians. And even maybe 5-10 years back, we were breaking some path from UK, from others. But now, alhamdulillah, you can see in one masjid, maybe 2-3 all of you. And they are product of local product. Alhamdulillah. And then I can say sometimes it's a duty and sometimes it's a problem. In GTA, Muslims are coming from 100 countries. So 100 cultures, 100 languages, 100 and so on. So it is one way good because everyone is contributing from a very special perspective, maybe another person looking other way. So it is a good thing. But sometimes it is a problematic when we have no any good link or good coordination or working together. So in this way, our activity sometimes it is repeated or it is copied or it is, So alhamdulillah. The only thing which I can say that after 9/11, mostly the heat came to Muslims in US and Canada. And of course our youth is particularly affected by this kind of thing. So it is, in one way it is good, because what happened, our youth, they were living in this country and they were feeling we are same as others. So they were not thinking about any isolation. Right? But this kind of challenge gives them their own identity and recognition. But other way it is also become a kind of governments, different departments, media and other people, they are taking little bit, I can say, non-friendly kind of relation with Muslims. So these challenges we are facing, alhamdulillah, whatever. Here, one thing is very clear that Muslims are here and decided to live here and to be part of this country and to make the Allah's deen available for this nation. So whatever we can contribute to the way. And what is happening to us, it is a kind of price we have to pay to be part of this. So alhamdulillah, this way we are. There is a council of Imam actually formed by our brother, Mr. brother, in a kind of personal effort. But now the brother has become recognized by and we have a organization that we will be able to different direction, but alhamdulillah, I hope that it will serve this Islamic purpose. Allah for your listening here, and you benefit from your advices and you can help our brothers, inshallah, they will listen also and they have some questions, so we can exchange
مولانا سيد علي
تفضل. أفرض علينا أن الشيخ سعيد فيصل ما شاء الله صاحب في وزارة Mercedes or تفضل تفضل
لا نصيحة منكم إن شاء الله أبدا يعني
سيأتي في قلبي الرزق الذي الله سبحانه وتعالى يسوقه على الإنسان.
إذا كان بناء على الندوة
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه من السماوات ومن الأرض ومن ما بينهما ومن ما شاء ربنا بشيء بعد. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله تعالى عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم. أما بعد، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. تحية من عند الله مباركة. الحمد لله. I praise Allah and thank you for honoring myself to look at these faces, this grateful stand for the Ummah of our Habib, Imam our Sayyid, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. May Allah Jalla Jalaluhu بغير حول منا ولا قوة to know power or to know ability from outside. But all by his fadl and sharaf, his bounty and generosity to allow us together with our beloved Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. اللهم اجمعنا في جنته وكلنا في رحمته واجعلنا من عبادك الصالحين يا رب العالمين. Respected elders, Mashaykh, ulama, my zumala, my colleagues, my ahbab, my beloved. We put in such a position. likes to be part of this honor, let him to fulfill the condition that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put in his hand. Alhamdulillah, thumma alhamdulillah. Respect yourself. Imams. I mentioned to respected Imams in Masjid. Hidayah, which is another Masjid. Awad, now that was yesterday. I remember from my Shaykh Awadallah Yusuf, I say in Arabic, وأنا تسألني يا إمامي قل أمامي. يا إمامي, you are my Imam, قل أمامي. Go ahead. Be in front of me. Please go ahead. The community is always looking at us. That's why the ulama, the imams, wrote many nasiha, many advices to anyone like myself. Strive somehow to be in a position of tayammum and alim and math. I say to my students, one like myself and your respected selves, my dear students, we are performing the position of tayammum because the real water, the ulama, somehow they are here and there. Here they are, we haven't. Then we don't have much to say. So from the I try to share some whatever. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in my good accounts and your account in the future. We're not gathering like this in the UK. Alhamdulillah, I'm sure I want to know. From different backgrounds, different cultures, different languages, different school of thought, including some who may have no doubt they either passed the border of Islam somewhere else, but they still hold Muslims. Dialogue should be with kuffar. So what about if someone is still calling themselves Muslims? Today, one of the visits was to the big synagogue with MashaAllah, Ustaz Jawad Khair Hotel, it is the biggest synagogue, they say, and the rabbi, he is what's called?
Yes,
He has been and obviously, introduced myself to him and he introduced himself, and I said, we somehow must do. And I don't mind if you look at me and make my way to Jahannam, to hellfire, and I'm infidel according to your faith. And you must allow me to look at you the same. You're also infidel and making your way to the hellfire. So, however, from Islamic perspective, we've been encouraged to open dialogue, to talk. People of the book, you are one of them. That's why I'm here. And I asked him a few questions, hard questions we have to repeat. I don't hear them. So we have to be there. We cannot just let our community to try their own approach on ijtihad. I'm sorry to say that we are in a time that some of us who studied a few pages of kitabs and attended a few talks here and there, after some time, he or she says, I am saying like, Abu Hanifa, who's this guy, Abu Hanifa, who's this guy, who's this Bukhari? هم رجال ونحن رجال. This is what We sometimes hear this. I say, Alhamdulillah. هم رجال ونحن رجال. You mean هم ذكور ونحن ذكور. I can accept it, but رجال. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran used it in a different content. Different context that's different from you. من المؤمنين رجال صدقوا ما عهد الله عليه. من المؤمنين, from the believers, رجال. So if you mean رجال by that means, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. So we cannot let them in a way or another to take the community way of leadership. We must be there. To make it clear to myself, as someone who got to stand on the member, who's that member of Rasulullah. The message should be the message of Rasulullah. And the mizaj, the approach should be the mizaj of Rasulullah. Yes, after being on the member, being Imam al-Musallin, as Imam, sometimes I say to my student, if you listen to 2 hours, I listen 2 hours there in Manchester, you just remember one line, Alhamdulillah, that each other should be fine. My means of success in the front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, I took one line to this student, enough. So I'm just sharing with you what I do. So later, inshallah, I can question me and say, okay, we have something else here to add what you, so that is here, alhamdulillah, to take from yourself more than I try to give the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To go back to what we listened to, my elder, my shaykh, who is now much more. The constituent rock or stone that's underneath the earth is called ore. I look at that, it's O-R-E, ore. So we tend to O for opportunity, R for respond, and E for engage. So if we work on these three, the first, how to turn challenges, different challenges, political, social, economic, family life, for imams, for shuyukh like yourselves, personal and family, big challenge, not easy as well. I have this complaint, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for me to meet and fulfill. And I think the same complaint with anyone who's putting themselves, because we never, as they say, we never have our own time. Usually, someone likes to speak to you, what can you do? There's a problem, there is something you have to be there for them, for the community, for people around you. Big challenge. How can we turn every challenge to an opportunity? Let's talk about outside atmosphere, the Islamophobia. Sometimes they say, how can we deal with Islamophobia? Islamophobia is unrealistic. It is made up fear, but we have to tell them there is real phobia. So the kufr phobia is real. How can we turn Islamophobia to be just a phobia to kufr phobia, denying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to tell them this is a real fear that we, the Muslims, in particular Imams, we are concerned about. إني أخاف عليكم. These three words repeated in the Quran, where the Anbiya of Allah عليهم الصلاة والسلام. إني أخاف عليكم عذاب يوم أليم عذاب يوم عظيم. So it's not a matter just to get them scared of what is waiting for them, of Hisab and the day of Qiyamah, what will be, that we really should have this hope about their future and feel sorry for them. The more we know these people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent up either here or the other side of the Atlantic, how can we have this hope and see many of them, they live this new Jahiliyyah, they don't know Islam. And what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did is our opportunity. Is our opportunity. النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم used to see لا يرى المغادية رائحة is in and out. يمشي في الأسواق, goes around in the markets, in the public places. So we need to move on, see them. We shouldn't wait till they look at us. Take every opportunity. We do shopping, we drive in a car. Alhamdulillah, we say to Ammatul Muslimin, the common people, you are the ambassador of Islam. You, the brother, you, the sister, in your workplace, in your hospital, if you are a doctor, in your school, if you are a teacher, when you drive your car, a taxi driver, when marshal bus driver, you all represent Islam. People don't really go to read what is Islam, but they will see who is Islam. Who is Islam? Islam in whose life? And subhanAllah, I was talking to one of young people this morning. As you are aware, alhamdulillah, there is some group, mashallah, they are involved in da'wah. And one of the effort, I really like it. And I joined many years ago, mashallah, they call on foot Jama'at. They go on foot from city to city, village to village, visit the Muslims who are far from Masajid. So those, you call it a Peter Jama'at, that is on foot Jama'at. Peter Jama'at is some term I can't remember, but Jazakallah khair. They've been in a remote area, there's no Muslim. So it was morning, they were walking towards the next area. An old gentleman that was walking his dog around, so he come nearby, they greeted him, they started to talk to him, and we all know, mashallah, their attire from outside can tell they are Muslims. I asked, who are you, why are you, what you doing, etc. They said, we are here to pray to God Almighty, the one created everyone, He sent the Prophet Muhammad, etc. Alhamdulillah, as anyone can speak, simply. And he said, how many are you? They said, we are 6, and one drove the van already ahead of us. So we are 5 here now walking. He said, this is not enough. If you bring 100 people like this, and just walk as you with this smile in your faces, he said, this is my advice. He's nearly 70, over 70. Proper, as you say, proper white gentleman, if we can say the British, as you say, Englishman. He said, believe me, whatever the media does in 10 years, you will correct it in half an hour. Just get more people like you and just walk in our village and talk to us. The opportunity is there. How can we learn to get it? With Mizaj al-Nabuwa, Ya Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this rahmah that was in Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The rahmah was there for the enemies that they were ignite and they to finish Rasulullah and his message. And in Badr, what was the dua of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? Allahumma in tahlik hadihi al-isaba la ta'ubad fil ard. He said, oh Allah, if this small group of people to be perished, you will never be worshipped in the earth. And he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam still is to call them. Ali radiallahu anhu, as we know, when he was making his way to Khaybar, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam called him امضي على رسلك لأن يهدي الله بك رجلا واحدا خير لك من الدنيا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide through you one single man, one single person is better for you than the hellish best that you can get. So this mizaj as the da'wah all the time. The mizaj, the approach, the inner of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. All the time, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is concerned for the ummah. Not just the ummah as we call ummah al-ijabah, ummah al-ijabah, ummah al-da'wah. May Allah ta'ala make us means of hidayah, rahmah, ameen ya Allah. So first, turning the challenge to an opportunity. Second, responding to current issue and have vision. This challenge today is here. Any challenge develops, same as any disease and any trouble goes steps. How can we have this future vision in front of us? What's next? They do that. What's next that they're going to do? Same as they have their own agenda. The Muslim now here, in 30 years, they will be this. In France, they will be that. I don't have to mention all of this. This is all known in the internet. In 50 years' time, this. In the UK, they at least now can influence 25% of the voting. These days, not just Thursday, the analysis, they say we can't turn 25%. Like imagine it, minority of nearly 2 million, which is around 5% change, to 25%. What about 30, 50 years? So they have this vision, what they're going to do. So how can we turn, go back to the opportunity that we are here, not to get them in terror, in fear. And I said it in the meeting with the Royal Mountain Police, what do you call it? RCMP, yeah. I do request my students, mashallah, may Allah accept, a few tens, a few hundreds, whatever, brothers and sisters, to go as hours as they can in the day with the Muslim attire. And walk and be nice to everyone. By this, we remove this feeling of alienation, feeling that these people are immigrants and strangers. They don't speak English. When I preach in the UK, they say, "Hello, Mr. Patel." I say, "I'm not Mr. Patel." With due respect, Allah. And sometimes, because of this, they call me Patty. I said again, I'm not from Pakistan, but if you are from Pakistan, you will know them. I called the young boy from the college or from around the university, and we told them, it's no problem. Yes, I know what you really don't. May Allah to make them attack. I mean, die. It's our job. It's our job. Because الشرك هو عين النجاسة. We understand about that. اللهم اغفر لنا وارحمنا. فلا يقربوا المسجد بعد عامهم بقولها إنما. We understand. الله يبارك فيك. Opportunity, respond. We need to study. We need to study. We need to learn law of the land. And we need to know our rights, and before our rights, our duties. I was talking to my brother that respecting and demanding the law of the land as long as it's not contract directly with the Sharia, is part of the Sharia. Respecting a traffic light is part of the Sharia. I was saying to Ahmed, where is his brother Aslam, that he say, Masha, when you drive, it is red. Nobody sees you, no cameras, you know nothing. You have to stop. Why? Because you have to stop. This is maslahatul nas. Maslahatul nas, you have to respect it. I said this few years ago. I remember yesterday, Imran, he's my student, Imran, this year. He came the following lesson, that's nearly 3-4 days after that, sorry. And he said, I have to thank you, my teacher, my sheikh. I said, Alhamdulillah, mashallah. What's about? You always say, he said, you saved me from 6 points and fine. I said, 6 points? Are you still driving? The 6 point you got? He said, I live in no entry. My house is the second from the corner. And for the last 2 years or so, I make it easy. I just come from no entry because it's second house. I don't have to go 25 houses around the block. Then I come, so I go inside and park the car. But you said in the Darsul Fiqh and something that we have to, etc. So I said it's not nice. I hear an advice and I would like to happen. So he said, no, let me go around. All around the way, came and found in front of his house, four-wheel drive, the big cars, 2 big police officers were outside and they're looking for something. He said, believe me, Sheikh, if I had to come, I would be just here to hit them when I'm facing him. So I said to him, hold on, stay here. I don't know whether they are run or not. No. How much the fine? I don't know. So I said to the student, find out how much the fine and you pay this salah for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't bring in for me. So we've been saved from 6 points, but it's not for free. You promise me now, you pay the fine for Allah. You don't have to pay for the police. Yes, will you do it? They said, no, you will not leave the lesson. You promise me to pay the fine. Find out, £100, £150, pay it. See you there. Allah Akbar. So, it's opportunity and then respond. But to respond, we don't know that. For some time, we tried Muslim assembly in some local schools to send an imam like you respected service or someone from the community to speak to our Muslims children. Or the whole school. Alhamdulillah, nowadays, we do have some to go to speak to the whole school before Eid or before Ramadan, explain to the teachers. Some teachers, highly educated people, MSc and these and PhD, they don't know much. What is even Islam? What is Ramadan? Or Ramadan, when you eat that round, sweet, round, they don't know what is called. Things. So we said, yeah, this is what you're talking about. Yeah, it's here. We brought some from Makkah. I said, Makkah, yeah, that's the one near Karachi. I don't know because the math teacher, she doesn't teach geography, she doesn't know where is Makkah, where is Karachi. It's our education that we have there. And you find maybe like this. So Imran, you were there about that Muslim Parents Shura. Can you tell us, please? He was eyewitness. He's Masha Hafz al-Quran. He did it. He made 1 week leave because I have 1 week to come with me. Masha. So we can learn from each other. How was it, Masha? Just
the local school that the brother has in his community has over 80% Muslim children. And for years, he says, for years we have been trying to establish Muslim assembly, which is I think 3 times a week for about 20 minutes.
He successfully was the governor of the school council here? Yes, school council. Was the governor? Yeah,
He was a governor to the school.
He was inside the school, not just from outside. He is someone in the school. Can have a say, please.
So he has influence in the school. He said that we need Muslim Shura. That was his. He put it forward to the governing body and the headmaster, and it was always flatly refused. and he's been trying for years.
So in a way, Christian assembly, Christian assembly. The education, let's say Christian assembly, Christian assembly. No way.
Then, mashallah, I brought him to the madrasa, the Muslim Parent Shura. So
Madrasa means where I teach, alhamdulillah. Where some of the teachers are people. Yes.
So it's about 17, 18 miles away from the brother's house. We went together, mashallah.
It's from Bolton.
From Bolton myself. And he brought up the question and asked for nasiha in front of the other parents and Shaykh. And Shaykh's nasiha was that get the Muslim to write a letter individually, Muslim parents to write a letter individually saying that I am going to take my child out of the assembly.
That's number one. Okay.
Individually, to take them out. So then, the following week, all these Muslim parents took their children out of that, did not take them out physically, but they told the school that they don't want their child to participate.
This is the parents' right. Yes, opt out. Withdraw your child from the assembly. That's what assembly. Christian marriage. It's your right. It's according to that. So let them be taken out first. Then.
So they were taken out of the class. The parents obviously.
So now imagine 80% or so of the school being have nothing. They've been asked to go to the library or go to the playground. Do nothing. Then
there was no one to supervise them. So the headmaster had a big problem. What are we going to do with all these children? We've not got enough resources to look after them for 20 minutes, 3 times a week. So then he called the governor, the Muslim governor, Ibrahim Baikando, and he said to him, tell us how we can have a Muslim assembly.
now we say, please come and help. Simple as that. So, we need to know the law, we need to study. And it is not bad to turn the law to our benefit. Legally, wisely, and we must know that in a way that we don't break, we don't discuss them. So responding. And the third, engaging. Engage with everyone. Engage. They support you or they don't support you. We need to know them. And we shouldn't wait for them to come to approach us. After my delivery, I will say, and I say to everyone and my students, if you don't go to them, we are khayroma ukhrijat, being sent out. They will come in and they send us out. So either you do it, or they will come and they do it. So we have to, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all of us, and may those who are old, those who are valuable, those who are hidden, those who are humble, down there, and same as Rawak in Iman wise, and have rahmah to these people, that they don't know their Rabb. When I speak to them there in Sunday market, I do sometimes go to the Sunday market, mashallah, I can go and find many things cheap and good. And they say, mashallah, let's buy and have something, and my dear wife, with the phone, alhamdulillah, gets all that, and say hello to people here and there, and we say, yes, by the way, he's out there, he's looking at you. We say, I don't believe in him. I said, okay, but he still provides you everything. You know that way? That we have it almost every day in Manchester. We call it Manchester sometimes. Yeah. What is he talking about, man? I said, yes, he's providing you everything. I said, I have nothing to do with him. Yeah, some very strong like that. No problem. I said, what about it? If you just call out, write to him. It's possible he's there. You just call, and if you have no response, the line is dead, you will not pay anything. He's lady or he doesn't believe anything, he's man, he's of alcohol, he's of all rubbish. The ladies is shouting at him in Sunday market. And alhamdulillah, my lady, my office is watching. Because I'm okay with phone. Yes. And say, let's pray to God. They say, this man must be crazy. I know. But say, let's pray to him. Oh God, if you are there, help this man. I said, okay, thank you, sir. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help all of us. And I would love to any feedback I take with me. So remember this blessed faces. Jazakumullah khairan in advance. Sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam.
Imam, any question, please?
Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin.
Allah khair.
Allah yubarak.
I think yes. I share and then you will tell us clearly. MashaAllah, our brother, he has been working in the great dialogue.
Yes, confirm it should be with Asad as well. Yeah, Asad isn't it?
It should be Shabir.
Then it should be what? Asad, share. I try to make connection with the share. The share معناه الأسد يصلح, isn't it? But Shabir, what does it mean?
Shabir is just like the name of title of Ali
Shabir.
one of the title.
Allah yubarak. I'm always making it. Tafadhal, please.
Ibn Mansour says that
Ibn Mansour.
Shabir and Shubayr were the sons of Harun alayhi salam.
MashaAllah.
And this is the equivalent of Hassan and Hussain. Allah.
Allah yubarak. Alhamdulillah, taqabbal ya Rabbi.
The issue actually, this is really needs and your presence, if you can share light on some issue. There is some kind of dilemma in our Muslim society. The dilemma is that
Yeah, we can't hear you on that. We can't hear you.
You speak in the mic.
It's our heart.
okay. If you don't hear it better. So I was just raising a concern. I think many will agree with it, or maybe they will express in different ways. But the concern is that when we are living in a secular society, right, and we observe in secular society openness, tolerance, right, dealing with issues in a very cool manner, and differentiating between what is major issue and what is minor. And, for example, dealing with different kind of people. When we go in our Muslim society, I'm not talking about those who are not religious, I'm talking about religious people. So religious people's issue is that either you agree with me even in minor issues, or you're not with me. I cannot give you any, for example, position, anything, right? This kind of thing actually, can we see that it was existing at the time of Sahaba, at the time of Rasulullah or the time of, is it the way, for example, we can say that Islam is more open to others, is more tolerant to others, and Islam, of course, we differ in fundamental issues, we differ in aqidah, we differ in this thing, but at least as a human being, we deal with people with respectful manner, even if he is kafir or he is not, for example, not agreeing with me. So this is really a kind of vacuum which is not available. I attended a conference just few days back in Abu Dhabi, and it was about the peace. Ta'ziz al-silm fil mujtama'at al-muslima. Yeah, protecting or managing, for example, caring for the peace in Muslim society. And I say there, you are talking about the peace. The peace already existing in Western world. We need peace in our Muslim societies, in Muslim world, right? And the reason is that everyone is talking about the issue because his understanding of deen is final. Others' understanding is not acceptable. So really, this is one of the area where we are lacking, and others are actually making our presentation of Islamic thing. I can say, for example, under a difference or under kind, for example, a position and so on. So how, for example, we connect this kind of thing to make our Islam is a rahmah, is a mercy. At the same time, the people will feel that yes, this person, even he don't like me, but he will not take my any right. He will not, for example, do any injustice with me.
The answer, alhamdulillah, has been given in the question.
Well, maybe your words will be better for
Jazakumullah khairan jazak. Is anyone there in Muassasat al-Dar for Friday Salat? Is anyone of my respected elders or imams there? Amran was there.
Yeah, I have a question. Shaykh, you were...
I am just about to answer this.
Okay, go ahead.
In one or two lines, inshallah. It can be written. Was nobody here? Yeah? In Muassasat al-Dar for Salat al-Jum'ah. I was there. I led Salat al-Jum'ah there. Alhamdulillah, one of the points I touched, very brief in the Khutbah al-Jama'ah, alhamdulillah, that we should work together as one community. And how can we do that? Through looking at community as two parts, you may say it. Come as verb, come C-O-M-E, unity, community. We can do this through being part, deeply from our heart. ثم كان من الذين آمنوا تواصوا بالصبر وتواصوا بالرحمة. Then he was a member, he was part of those who have faith, and he enjoying sabr and enjoying the especially and kindness. And I said to that effect, we the leaders, we the Muslims, any organization, any school of thought, we need to practice among ourselves these two first. Sabr, ya Mulana, and Marhama. I am younger, I speak to yourself. I will never do it with not full respect. And I said, okay, give me the deal of what you're talking about. So you need to have sabr on me. And then with rahmah, without just putting me in front of others and show me that I don't know anything, this speech doesn't really matter, that whatsoever. So have rahmah on me. So I said, if we cannot practice sabr and rahmah among ourselves, are we going to practice rahmah on others? So first, we have to learn area where we can differ, and still Muslims, an area we can not differ. And yet with this area as well, what was between Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali radiallahu anhu and the Khawarij? This is just very brief example. Let's go and read how he radiallahu anhu dealt with them, how they accused him, how they fought him and planned and successfully martyred him, killed him, and what he said about that. So if we deal with each other, مع المخالف, the one who oppose us, and usually you don't really now fight between Shafi'i and Hanafi. Yes, I know there is some movement who do not look at Hanafi or Shafi'i or Imams, and one of the brothers, with due respect, I don't think he studied under Shia or anything, I said, we in Egypt, they said it to me a couple of days ago, we just look which is stronger in the lead and we act upon it. And I don't want to answer him, but I answer to my respected Imams. I said to myself, with due respect, some of us doesn't know fa'il from maf'ul now, from maf'ul bihi, and they don't know anything, they don't know any usul, they haven't studied any book, they haven't studied years, and they just book Kitab al-Bukhari and open and read something and they say, we are here. Help Imams or Imams be there, but with sabr and rahmah. Jazakumullah khair.
Shaykh, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase you in knowledge and in your service of the religion and accept from you and all of us. You were speaking about the success that the school had with the Muslim Assembly, and a problem we're facing here now is with revisions to the health and physical education curriculum for the grade schools. This is for students up to the age of about 13 years old. And some of the material which is in that revised curriculum is of a very private and intimate nature. And many parents are concerned about having their children being part of that education. And many are looking to the imams for guidance. So I was wondering if you have an experience like this in your country, and whether you had a similar kind of success with the Muslim Assembly as you had.
We had the same problem. It was called sex education. And of course, was there? Yes, it is. Yes. And of course, they try to promote gay, etc., etc. It was very hard. The reaction was with anger and troubles in any way. So we look at the situation to make it is obvious and what steps can be taken. We need consultation and voice our concern as one community, including any faith community or any who don't support this. That's number one. Number two is to work to amend, to rectify the term to something to be taught in science, to be taught here and there. And there is a room for the teachers. What the people should be taught about the private parts, about the production of humans, about the same syllabus, but only turn the term to something will not hurt, will not hit the modesty. So with these two, Shura, with all faith community, on time, in many cases, we are lacking this as well. We respond, we react when it's too late. When it's already, it's there, it's a law, we have no option, and then we start to fight. Well-established case. Before being established, if this is still fresh, go ahead, hit, as they say, hit the iron will still. So do the shura, consultation is number one, and two, work on this document, inshallah, and tell it something, inshallah. If I find some work on this, I was part of it, not the main looking at it, inshallah. We can send you a copy, a link to what you have, PDF file, and inshallah look at it and take whatsoever that you think will be benefit, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair.
Assalamu alaikum, Shaykh. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase your knowledge. To the point, Shaykh, my Ustad, Dr. Iqbal, was just basically raising about the intolerance. I think, isn't it something that we who have gone through the traditional Darul Ulum system need to look a bit deeper into the way our material is being taught to us? We're being taught ikhtilaf right from the Arabic language, from the Kufiyun and the Basriyun, and trying to prove that they're wrong and we're right. And then when it goes to the Madahib as well, anywhere, we go right to the Hidayah, from Nurulillah all the way to Hidayah, we're always approaching everything like we have the superior position, and when we're doing a comparative analysis, it's all about proving them wrong and we're right. That mentality now is what we go out in society with, and if we're not going to have nothing but intolerance, what are we going to have? Does this not need to be visited the way we're being taught the material in the books that we're being taught?
Jazakumullah khairan. You remind me of a good comment from one of my dear students, Imran Malji from London. He's optician. He studied Alhamdulillah course as well. So he's entitled to be called Maulana as Imam, as you respect yourselves. He was with me in Umrah, Alhamdulillah, just 2 weeks before my travel to your blessed country. Some people say, Canada, blessed country. Yes, it's blessed with you, Alhamdulillah. Yeah, Canada المباركة إن شاء الله بكم. الحمد لله. جزاكم الله خير. إن شاء الله كندا شريف. إن شاء الله بكم. إن شاء الله. كندا.
ربكم واشكروا له. بلدة طيبة ورب غفور.
ربنا يتقبل من الجميع. He said to me, MashaAllah, you made some effort. You changed my views about Shafi'is. I am Shafi'i, alhamdulillah. غير متعصب. alhamdulillah, أتعلم. I'm Shafi'i. This is the first page on usul, but usul al-Shashiyas. I read and I believe the Hanafi should be on war with the Shafi'i. Before anything, before even definition what is usul and what's the rules about it, is الشافعي يقولون أن الحنفي وكذا يعني سبحان الله. Why are you hitting from first page? So it's not the problem of the kitab, it's the problem of the teacher. So they got to, mashallah, to look at how the imams respect each other, how our Imam Shafi'i left أجار بأمين وقراءة البسملة. أنتم تعرفون our Imam Shafi'i رحمة الله عليه. And when he was asked why he left these two, he said أستحي من صاحب هذا القبر وأشار إلى قبر أبي حنيفة رحمة الله عليه. احترام المبدأ. تقدير العلماء، تقدير الأئمة، اختلاف الرأي. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring this back to Ummah. The problem, I don't think we have such اختلاف in madhahib now. ما باختلاف إن عمل الإسلامي، مش عمل الإسلامي is farra, is a branch of working for Islam. That group is working in that area, that group is in different area, that group in that area, and each group thinking, I am to fix Islam from my side, everything to be fixed, people to be under me. With due respect, I am active in politics, so every Muslim must be active in politics, otherwise they do nothing. I am in education, madaris must be, otherwise they don't support Islam. With due respect to da'wah, everyone must be in this way, otherwise they don't do da'wah. Everyone to do tazkiyah, otherwise he not do tazkiyah. Subhanallah, what's that? Everyone is doing something. And see هذا اختلاف التنوع. This the اختلاف of varieties. We have the various mizan, various ways how we can go together and work, and we see that everyone is doing something for my Islam. So I think on a personal level, mashallah, doing something. If this brother is not doing it with due respect, if this sheikh, if this maulana is not doing it, I must do it. But Jazakallah khair is doing it. This brother doing something else, Jazakallah khair. He is night and days concerned for HMA, call it, or HMC. He got no time. He doesn't attend any meetings. He's there all the time watching, and he's covering that. So at least have somebody who is covering. Yeah, one of the a'mal fard al-kifaya. If nobody, the whole community are responsible. Ya Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us this collective view. Wallahu a'lam. Jazakumullah khair.
Any questions? And just in our the classical, our attitude of fuqaha and ulama, that some differences or some discussion was going on among themselves, but they were not sharing with public these things. In our time, most of the time our aim is not happening only differences and in public. And the public cannot judge anything. So they have support, they are supporting some leader, so they are with him, wrong or right. And then the division started, right? So this is the real issue, which is we need, for example, to also understand how we connect people to the haqq, not to personalities. And so on.
There's a quote Islamic Bob said. Assalamu alaikum. There's a quote Dr. Iqbal says, the quote the share, निकल कर खानका से पैदा कर मकाम शब्बीन. So this is one of the suggestion. What I want today is today is involved about either 8 rakat we have to pray the Tarawih or the 20, or the Amin we have to say the Fajr or Khafi or Jahaz, or the many other issues they are making here, because they came from the one, we learned from the one thought, like the Hanafi, the majority in the Toronto is the Hanafi thought, and they try to make impose to the whole community with their way.
So trying to make them a Shaykh
Yes, yeah. So my suggestion that they, instead of the bring the issue, main thing about what is the main issues about youngsters that we are facing, and we have to solve that problem. This is the minor issue. There's a salat, even there we say the Amin louder, or we didn't say the Amin. Amin is a sunnah, or the Tarawih is a sunnah. But then we don't have to make the big issue and make the two parties say, look, we don't want to play this music, now we have to make another Musalla and play like this. So this is the thing.
I want to share an example of the Shaykh that I witnessed today in my brief association, which may be a lesson for all the imams here too. We were having lunch in a restaurant, I don't know, and we had our lunch plates and everything. The Shaykh was looking all over who is coming in and so on. There were two young Muslims, looked like Somalis, but they turned out to be Ethiopian. Two young guys sitting next door. The Shaykh was eyeing them, and later while we were eating, we sent some of our platter, which was quite more for us anyway. So some of the things I give it to these two young boys. First asked Brother Imran, Dr. Imran went there to ask, would you like some? We want more than enough, and share. And then asked, they were Muslims, no doubt. They didn't know Arabic, and started the conversation. So they live in Scarborough. Said, come to the masjid. Said, they don't know where the masjid is. Can you imagine, in this day and age, I was shocked. These two young high school kids look like high school kids. Living in Scarborough, and how many masajid and musallas, more than any other area where I live is about 15 of them. Yeah. So, and they didn't know. And right away, Dr. Imran gave them the address of Masjid Hidayah. He said, come over there Saturday, their students, after Maghrib, then we talk. What we learned from him is, don't waste time. Grab the opportunity that he was speaking for, which I can relate to this incident, was a lesson for me the next time when I'm eating, how we can establish contact. Share the food, that's sunnah. Yeah. And that way we open the conversation and invite them. It's a good lesson for me.
There is a concern that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is open the ways of the future.
Sheikh, we are very happy, and you have enriched our knowledge and our what you taught us great lessons in how to live over here in this society as Imam, as Da'i, and as Muslims. We need your du'as, and we look forward to your future visits, inshallah, now that we have established contact. Masajid, I would ask the imams that whenever you have any programs, any conferences, any seminars, please invite the Shaykh, as he can be a great benefit, great knowledge for our youngsters especially. Yeah. So thank you, Shaykh, on behalf of the Council of Imams from our Nadwa Center. The dinner will be served after dinner. So please don't leave. Yeah.
أشرقت نفسي بنور من فؤادي حينما رددت يا رب العباد وانتشت روحي وصار الدمع